Nemesis here, back with another video. So today I thought about making a video of Neverwinter. It is a mildly popular game, yeah, quite popular. But I thought about making which is the best class and the basis. I mean, not the best class, but going about all the classes or races which are present in the game. So we have the introduction video or the cinematic trailer which was shown at the E3 gameplay. It looks quite dope, it gives you the feeling of the game. Okay, so there is a Dracolich. This is the Trickster Rogue class. That is the Great Weapon Fighter, Warlock and a Cleric. These are 4 out of the 9 classes and only 4 are shown in this. My current favorite being the Scourge Warlock, and my second favorite being the Control Wizard. So this is, I'm just showing this. If you're new to the game, you should see the Neverwinter is a very pretty cool game. Okay, so let me skip this. Okay, here we have the races. The races, first of all, this is my opinion, so you can go ahead and pick any race you want. They don't have a lot of effect on the classes, but their effect is noticeable. But you can go with any class that you like or you think it looks cool. So first of all, let's start with the human. The human is a okay class. I mean, a default setting class. It can go with any class. I mean, it is a race which can go with any class. As you can see in the racial abilities, defense is higher, 3% higher than that of other races. So it can be a tank, also wizards, warlocks, etc. But the main difference is made in the heroic effort, the additional heroic feat point gain at 10, 15 and 20. So if you want to look normal and have a high defense and for those additional feat points that you will learn later in the game, you can choose a human. It is not a bad pick overall. Moving on to the half orc. This is our baseline critical severity, the high DPS damage race. For example, your critical severity is 5% higher. That means when you deal and critical strike, your damage will be increased or it will be 5% higher. Okay, then there is, you gain a 10% bonus. Generally make great weapon fighters, mainly due to the ability scores and for the critical severity. Swift charge is okay, but it's not that noticeable. Moving on to the wood elf. Your critical chances, it is an okay class, for hunter ranger due to the ability scores. And then there is wild step, which increases your resistance to effect that slow you down. That's okay, but the main thing it is for hunter ranger due to the critical chance and the ability scores. Moving on, the sun elf. Inner calm, your action point gain is also known as your ultimate. You will learn that in the later part of the tutorial, which when you start the game. It is an okay ability. They make great oathbound paladins, clerics, and also I have seen some great control wizards. Also their third ability is resistance to control effect by 10%. It's an okay class, but not the most used. Moving on to the dwarf. This single class is mainly for the tank type players, generally the second tank or the tank/buffer great weapon fighter. It can be used as an oathbound paladin if you choose to play with the stats, but due to the ability scores, it is mainly pushed towards great weapon fighters. And also in the abilities, you can see increased resistance to effect that knock and push you. Also we have damage resistance and damage over time effect to resistance to that. Moving on to the halfling. The halfling is a great PvP race that you can use as deflection is an important stat in PvP, not the go-to stat, but an important stat of PvP. Generally they are aimed at trickster rogues due to the ability scores and also that deflection chance, but I have also seen some great weapon fighters, but mainly if you are thinking about this race, go for Trickster Rogue. Moving on to the half elves. Half elves all they make good oathbound paladins and as well as cleric, any healer. Okay. Not bad abilities, as you can see. Grant +1 non-class ability. If you have wisdom, you can put, for example, if you are oathbound paladin and you put in wisdom, you can put an additional point in charisma. And knack for success. It is also not bad because you have deflection chance, critical severity and gold bonus, each 1% higher than the other races. Not a bad class overall. I mean race, sorry. Tiefling. The main DPS race is Tiefling. As you can see, you deal an additional 5% damage to targets below half health, and also even Infernal Wrath. When you receive damage, you have 10% chance to apply Infernal Wrath to your attackers for 5 seconds. This effect reduces the target's power by 5%. So as you can see, as I talked about earlier, that half works for the critical main DPS severity builds, but as you can see, Tiefling is the main DPS race. I mean, the more damage dealing. They make great control wizards and my favorite Scourge warlocks, mainly due to the ability scores and also to of the other racial abilities. Last but not least, we have the Drow. Drows are another class mainly focused towards two classes race, that is focused on two classes, Hunter Ranger and Trickster Rogue, due to the ability scores and the Dark Fire, which reduces enemy defenses by 5%, and Trance, which is not that important. They also make quite good mage or caster classes like the Control Wizard and the Warlock. Okay, so these were all the races. Now you were probably thinking, what are the classes that I'm talking about? So let's say we are gonna make Scourge Warlock, so we'll choose a Tiefling. Okay, and the first class is Trickster Rogue. The Trickster Rogues are an awesome class. They are one of the highest damage dealing classes in the game. You know, like Loki, they go in the shadows and come again. You become invisible and then you strike back. You are very squishy though. You take a hit, you can easily die, but still they can do a lot of damage on single target. But the players who are looking on an AoE damage type class, this is not for you. But if you want to inflict a massive amount of damage, this is the class for you. It is okay in dungeons, and yeah, it is an important class in dungeon if you are a high damage dealing class. Moving on to the Devoured Cleric. The Cleric mainly being, if you want to be the healer or support class, Cleric is the way to go. It doesn't have the highest DPS, but still has a respectable DPS. It can be spec DPS, it can be spec full throttle heal, or it can be spec half of both. I have a build for Devoured Cleric for full DPS and full throttle heal, which if you wanted, I can post later. But it is an overall good class for surviving, and it is okay in dungeons as well. Moving on to my second favorite class, that is the Control Wizard. The name pretty much gives it all. Control Wizard. You stand there and just control. You slow enemies, you freeze them, then you have the chance of fire or lightning. A pretty badass class, you know. But you are very squishy. Again, like Trickster Rogue, you can deal or inflict a massive amounts of damage, but you can't take a hit. You only wear a leather or cloth armor, but they deal in a lot of stuns, and they can also, unlike the Trickster Rogue, they can also deal a heck of AoE damage or area of effect damage. I recommend it to everyone who's new to the game and just starting out. You know, it has got all the flashy powers, you know, striking. It is overall good class. Moving on to the Hunter Ranger. This class I never liked it because you have to constantly switch between melee and range combat. It can be built for a perma-stun build. They are very annoying to fight in PvP. They can easily stun you and you're stunned for a lot of time. I like my hunter ranger with my draw, but I don't recommend to anyone who is just starting out. They can deal a lot of damage, but they are a bit hard to learn. You have to constantly switch between melee and range. Moving on to my favorite class, the Scourge Warlock. They are the necromancers, you can say, but they can only raise one soul puppet, not an entire army. If you ask anyone, they'll say the highest, and it can also, unlike the control wizard, take a few damage, but it is a difficult class. You have to learn which ability to use when. You have to put the curse, etc. It is a difficult class, but not that difficult. If you play with it, you can easily master it. And at level 70, my Scourge Warlock deals insane amount of damage. It can heal itself as well, so you're almost unstoppable in the field. But yet again, it is a little bit difficult to master. Moving on to the Oathbound Paladin, not so useful now. As the update, it got many nerfs, but still it is a good tank or a healer. You can be both a decent tank and a pretty good healer. If you're looking for DPS, forget this is just a tank. It is a good overall pick, but like the Scourge Warlock, it is pretty tough. I don't recommend to anyone who is just starting out. Moving on, the Great Weapon Fighter. The Great Weapon Fighters, the second highest DPS class in the game. You are beefy, you don't care any about anything. You just run in, smack shit in the face and run away, just like that. You move in, chop up things, slice them into two pieces. You carry that huge massive sword in, and whenever you're not using it, goes on your back, which looks pretty dope. So an easy class to master and an easy class to level up. But there are a lot of great weapon fighters in the game, as generally all the high DPS characters are all over the place. Last but not least, the Guardian Fighter, which most people overlook because they see Oathbound Paladin, which can heal himself, unlike the Guardian Fighter, but they didn't see that Guardian Fighter is the one who buffs his team as well as take all the hits for his team. So it is a good class, can deal an okay amount of damage, also can be pretty good, and it is the you can say the most important class in a dungeon if you know how to play it. So these are all the classes. So as I said, I am going to make a Scourge Warlock. Okay, now these are the stat rolls. So as you are probably thinking, what are the stat rolls and what is this square to re-roll? This means that you have three abilities. For Scourge Warlock, it is Charisma, Constitution, Intelligence. For me, I'm going to go with Charisma and Intelligence. So I'll try to get a good roll. So as you can see, I'm rolling 1880. I'm gonna keep my Constitution a little low, just because I'm going towards a DPS side, not a surviving side. As you level up, you will have a variety of ways to heal yourself. So as we have choose, now these are the aesthetics. You can customize your character later. So for example, let's see, for example, like this, we can change the face. We can put like young, hair, eyes, we'll leave it just like that. Then you have the body scaling. You can have the shoulder width, chest, waist depth, etc. Arms length, this doesn't have any effect on your game. This is just for showpiece, so I'm not going to get into that. So I'm pressing done. Say again, deity. In Dungeons and Dragons, deity play an important role, but not in Neverwinter. You can choose any. It is just there to add flavor. It is also written there. This selection is for flavor and has no effect on gameplay. So I said Tempest looks cool, so I'll pick it. Character origins again doesn't have any effect on your game. it is just for flavor. So I'm going to go to AMN and choose Hunter of Monsters. It is dope. So I'm gonna name her, let's say, Aphrodite. It look cool, goddess of beauty and love. But we are a small a necromancer. So let's hit confirm. So we got everything ready, and we will press begin adventure. So guys, then you will load up to the tutorial. Then you can pretty much do anything as it is told to you. So I'm not gonna go into that. Still, I'll show you a little bit how does it look. It is like this. You have your ship has just I'm gonna skip that. So you're gonna go here, talk to Wilfred, and just press anything, it doesn't matter. Then you're gonna run and choose your clothes, your equipment. You're gonna search wreckage, then you're gonna equip the armor. Then you're gonna equip your by pressing L3, this is your movement ability. It's like running but has a unique effect to it. It's like floating. Every character has a different one. For example, a tank will block it, and a hunter, ranger or a control wizard will teleport. So you can just so guys, thank you for watching. Please tell me if you want any builds of any classes. I have built some, generally most of the classes. Don't forget to leave a like and please subscribe. I'll be posting new videos every week, but my exams are coming, so you guys have to wait for around 15 or 18 days. So I guess without any further ado, I'll see you guys next time, and peace out.